Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at a book that honestly feels more relevant than ever. George Orwell's 1984.
Absolutely. Published back in 1949, a real classic of dystopian fiction, political satire, too.
And it just keeps coming back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
75 years later, its themes feel incredibly current.
They really do. Orwell paints such a grim picture, doesn't he? This future superstate, Oceania.
Right, specifically Airstrip 1, which used to be Britain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's all ruled by the party, headed by this figure, Big Brother, who's everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
And the present, yeah.
And the party's control is just total. It's not just boots on the ground. It's surveillance, constant propaganda, twisting truth itself.
Which brings us to Winston Smith, our main character. He actually works for the party, right? In the Ministry of Truth.
The irony. His job is literally rewriting history, changing records to match whatever the party needs them to say now.
But inside, he's starting to question it all. He commits these small acts of rebellion, keeping a diary.
Tiny things, but incredibly dangerous in that world. Even thinking against the party is a crime. Thought crime.
Thought crime. Chilling. And his search for, well, freedom, maybe just some connection to truth, it leads him down this terrifying path.
It really does.
So our mission today really is to unpack how this warning, written 3/4 of a century ago, still speaks so directly to us, how it resonates now.
And it's fascinating how Orwell imagined that control. It wasn't just physical walls. Think about the telescreens.
Oh, yeah, in every home, watching you, listening, but also broadcasting propaganda constantly.
Exactly. An inescapable sense of being observed by the thought police. It's designed to make people police themselves. Yeah.
Self-censorship. Because any little thing, a facial twitch even, could give you away.
Right.
And when you think about our digital lives today, all the data trails we leave.
It makes you pause, doesn't it?
It does. How much of that kind of surveillance have we sort of invited in? It's a really uncomfortable parallel.
Very. But it wasn't just watching. The party attacked something even more fundamental in 1984. Language itself.
Newspeak.
Newspeak, exactly. It's this deliberate shrinking of the language.
Yeah.
Getting rid of words, synonyms, antonyms.
The goal being.
The goal being to make rebellious thoughts literally unthinkable. If you don't have the words for freedom or dissent, how can you even form the concept?
Wow. That's deep control.
And then there's doublethink.
Yeah.
Which is maybe even more insidious.
The ability to hold two completely opposite beliefs at the same time and accept both.
Precisely. Knowing something is false, but believing it's true, it's not just lying, it's fundamentally breaking down the ability to recognize reality.
Which, sounds unnervingly familiar when you think about misinformation today or alternative facts.
Echo chambers, yeah. It's incredibly insightful about the manipulation of truth.
So it's about controlling reality itself, making objective truth seem flexible or irrelevant.
And Winston's job, physically erasing inconvenient history. That hits hard now, doesn't it? With digital manipulation, historical revisionism.
Definitely. But there's one group the party doesn't seem as focused on controlling directly. The proles.
Right, the proletariat, the masses. The party mostly leaves them alone, considers them sort of beneath notice.
Yeah.
Too simple to be a real threat.
But Winston pins some hope on them, doesn't he?
He does. He has this line, "If there is hope, it lies in the proles."
Orwell suggests that maybe, just maybe, if they ever became aware of their own power.
It's a faint hope, but it's there. Maybe it highlights that even in the most oppressive system, the individual mind, the potential for awareness, still exists.
Yeah, it's a flicker. Ultimately, the book is such a powerful warning. It really is a mirror, maybe a dark and unsettling one, held up to society.
Definitely not just a story. It's this stark look at what happens when power goes completely unchecked, when truth becomes just, whatever the powerful say it is.
And the fragility of the human spirit against that. It forces you to ask uncomfortable questions.
Like, what is truth worth? And how hard do we need to fight to protect basic freedoms when reality itself feels like it's up for grabs?
Yeah.
Indeed. It makes you think about vigilance.
So our takeaway for you, if you haven't read 1984 or haven't read it in a while, maybe now's the time.
Definitely. To understand where these ideas come from, reflect on our own time.
And think about how we safeguard the future. Because that need for vigilance, for protecting civil liberties, for demanding objective truth, well, that never gets old, does it?
Never.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. In a world saturated with information, what does true freedom even mean if we can't agree on what's real? Something to ponder.